So we made our own AI camera using ESP32Cam in which we can visualize the live feed inside the built-in display, click a picture, and later we can ask any question about that picture and we will get the answer generated by GPT-4o on the screen itself. So this is the upgraded version of our previous AI vision project, and by the end of that video, I also discussed a couple of improvements to be made in this project to make it better. So I particularly find two major issues here. First being, we are not able to visualize what actually the ESP32Cam board is looking over. So basically a viewfinder should be there. Secondly, in this model, we are able to provide the fixed question, but there should be some option to ask different question about different images. So these two are the scope of improvements in this project, so we'll be definitely working on it. So we tried to work on both the improvements, starting with the viewfinder. So basically here we'll need a bigger full color display to be attached with our ESP32Cam board on which we can visualize everything. And here we chose the most commonly used ILI9488 based 3.5 inch TFT touchscreen display. So at first we tried to make the connection between our TFT touchscreen display and the ESP32Cam board, and later we tried to upload the basic example code which will just display the live camera feed on the screen. But after uploading that basic code, it didn't work at first. Like here we are just getting the white blank screen, and later after trying out with the different pinouts and different library version, we found out that the issue was with the compatibility between Arduino IDE version and the ESP32 boards package version. So when we downloaded the older version of Arduino IDE 1.8.13 and lowered down the ESP32 boards package version to 1.0.6, that exact same code started working. And as you can see here, we are able to visualize the live camera feed. So here we understood one thing, that the problem is not always with the hardware or the code. It may be the compatibility issue. So do try out the exact same code in different version and it may work as it did in our case. Anyways, after getting the live feed on the display, now it's the time to add the other part of the code to make the complete project, like capturing the image, converting it into base64 format, providing the data to GPT-4o API, and printing the response on the screen. So we started integrating all the parts of the code. Now here, in case if you want to understand the code of converting that image into base64 format, later providing it to the GPT-4o APIs, well, I'll suggest you to watch out our previous video in which we explained the complete code and how all things works. I'll be providing the link of that video in the description. So here, after uploading that modified code, it was working as expected.
So here we provided the ground signal to capture the image, and in some time we should get the response from GPT-4o. And here, as you can see, we got the response regarding that image here inside the display itself.
So the first improvement is done. And now for the second improvement, we need to learn LVGL. Now for those who don't know what LVGL is, then it's a light and versatile graphics library for small microcontrollers like ESP32, and using this library we can create some really cool user interfaces. But why we need LVGL here? Well, for one major reason, which is keyboard. So the second improvement of our project requires to add the custom questions about that particular image, and if we can add this keyboard, we can ask any question that we want. So first we started with integrating the basic keyboard example code onto our ESP32Cam board, and it worked on the first go. Like we were having the full size QWERTY keypad and we can type any text that we want. And once this LVGL started working fine with the ESP32Cam board, we thought of creating a simple UI as well, in which we can have the live camera feed in the center and we can add two buttons at the side, one for capturing the image and other for turning on and off the flash. So after modifying the code, here is kind of a final UI. So as you can see, we get the live feed in the center and we also have the button on the side. Well, let's capture one image. Later, after some times, we get this keyboard to ask question. Let's put it blank this time and wait for the response from ChatGPT. And here is the response. So everything seems to be working as expected, but we still were facing couple of issues. Like every time we power up the project, it reboots itself couple of times. And secondly, in the keyboard, even if we are pressing any button for one single time, we are getting multiple prints on the display. So we already started working on to modify the code to make it better and more stable. And in the meantime, we thought the hardware seems to be perfect, so we should go ahead with it. So once we were confident with our hardware, we started designing our own custom PCB for the project, and we tried to give it look of a real camera, where we also added a capture button on the top corner, and on the opposite side we added a slide switch to turn on and off the flash. And for audio feedback, we added a buzzer on the back. Later, after finalizing the PCB, we gave its order directly to PCBGOGO. Now, PCBGOGO is one of the largest PCB manufacturer in China, and luckily I got a chance to visit their factory last year. It is really huge, and they are processing around 3000 orders per day. And ordering PCBs online through PCBGOGO is really very simple. You just need to upload the Gerber file of your PCB project, select the number of PCBs and color masking, and later select the shipping option as per your location. Now here PCBGOGO offers 24 hours PCB manufacturing time without any extra cost if you allow to add the PCBGOGO logo on it, which is really convenient for makers like us. And after that, your design will be reviewed for any error, and later after reviewing, you can pay for your order and get it delivered at your doorsteps. Now the PCB comes safely in a vacuum packaging, and the PCB quality feels really premium. Now currently they are having an amazing offer where you can get $25 worth PCB at just $1 for all the new users, and also they are providing free shipping in North America and Europe. So just click the link mentioned in the description and get your PCBs from PCBGOGO. So after receiving the PCB, we gathered all the components required for it, and during soldering the components we were really excited to test the project out, but we were not aware about the variety of issues that we're gonna face in near future regarding the hardware and the code. And the first issue started with this. So here, as you can see, the 5V booster circuit was touching the SD card slot of the display, and as it was metallic, it can short circuit the booster and damage the complete project. So we thought of removing this SD card slot as it was not required anywhere in the project. So we started removing it with the help of our hot air gun, and after removing it, the issue was solved, but it was just the beginning. Anyways, after soldering all the components, our final project looks something like this. And later when we powered up the project, well, it didn't work. Like the display was not at all powering up. So I started debugging the hardware by checking the schematics, PCB design and continuity between the components, and finally I found the issue. So the issue was again with the booster itself, and it was placed in wrong orientation. So I started desoldering the booster with the help of hot air gun once again, and later placed it in correct orientation. And here I wanted to test it before permanently soldering it. Hey! So the display got turned on, which means the booster circuit was perfectly fine, and we soldered it finally on the PCB, and later we inserted the ESP32-CAM board, and it's time for the final test.
Hello? हाँ.
Well, it kind of worked, but the display was upside down. So this seems to be a very small issue, which by the way it is, but a big problem was waiting on the other side. But anyways, we changed the orientation of the display in the code and uploaded that modified code into the ESP32-CAM board, and later when we powered it up, the orientation was perfect, and we also started getting the live camera feed on the display. But when we started touching the buttons, well, it was not working at all. Well, I even tried with the keyboard, but I was not able to press any key, and this means that the touch panel is not working. So here the first thought which came in my mind was, did I damage the touch panel while desoldering the SD card slot from the display? Well, come on, like when the things are not working, you'd started doubting everything that you did. So now to be sure that the touch panel was working or not, or what was the actual issue, we tried to replicate all the connection of the PCB manually on a new ESP32-CAM and a new display, and while testing, we found that the issue was with the PCB design. So basically the problem with the PCB is, here is the D0 pin which need to be connected here, this particular GPIO pin, and this is responsible for all the touch related operations. But the thing is, it is connected to this meso pin, which later gets connected with the GPIO. And due to this connection of two pins on a single GPIO, the touch is not working. But here's one good news. This meso pin doesn't involve in any of the functionalities. So even if we remove the meso pin, the project will work as expected. But here comes the actual problem. The path which we need to break, which is this, is actually beneath the display, and it's impossible to cut that path out. So at this moment we were thinking of to make the new project on a new PCB, and we'll already cut the path before adding the display on it. But at that time we noticed one really important thing. The meso pin's path was visible on the display itself. So we thought to cut that path from the display module itself. So we started scratching that path with the cutter, and hopefully with this step, I think now our project should work as expected. So now it's the time for the final showdown. This time things were definitely not in our favor. Like even on Saturday evening, we were still not able to solve the rebooting issue. Even me and Dev sat together to make it work anyhow, but it didn't. So we thought to give it one more day and try to delay the video but make the project work smoothly. So it's Sunday afternoon and I'm still working on this project, on this code, and let me tell you, I'm still not able to optimize this code completely. So what's actually happening is at the very beginning, it tries to reboot couple of times, and after some time, it automatically gets stable and start working. And once it starts working, it's kind of smooth. Like we can click pictures, ask question, get the response, and click another picture. It works completely fine. But at the beginning, it goes on reboot and reboot. And what me and my team thinks, it's a memory issue, like memory allocation issue. Hence, we also try to optimize the code to make it work all the time. And hence, we delayed the video as well. Like today on Sunday, the video should go live, but still we are working on the project. So what I've decided is I'll keep the code and the project up till this point only. And let me showcase what we have made. It's kind of a proof of concept. Of course, it's not a ready product that we are showcasing. It's a concept that we have put into work, put into action, put into real life, like making our own AI camera. It works fine as well. You'll come to know when you see the project video. And also I've decided one more thing, which is as I used to upload this kind of codes on my GitHub repository, I'll do same with this particular code as well. And in case anyone of you watching this video is able to optimize this code to make completely fine at the beginning as well, well, definitely I'll be giving away that particular girl or guy this complete AI camera project absolutely free. So yes, that's what I've decided, and now let's see how the AI camera project actually works once it gets stable. So the first test, I'll be clicking the image of the schematic using the AI camera, and let's just ask the question if it can recognize the schematic or not. So image is captured now. Okay, so here I'll type what is this, later I'll press enter, and let's just see if ChatGPT is able to recognize whether it's a schematic or not. Let's see. The image shows a schematic diagram. Wow, perfect. Pinned on the wall, it's likely an electronic circuit diagram as it features symbols and lines typical of such diagrams. These drawings are used to represent components and connections in a circuit. Perfectly recognized. Now, let's just go for another test. So for the second test, we'll ask one interesting question. So what I'll do, I'll click the image of my computer. And later, what I'll do, I won't ask the model of it, rather let me ask the price of this computer. So I'll type the question as, what's the price of this PC in India? Let's just press enter. Let's see if ChatGPT can give us the price estimation or not. I'm unable to provide the exact price of this iMac in India. So first of all, it recognizes as an iMac. Without specific model details, the cost can vary based on the model specifications and condition, new or used. Okay. You might want to check the official Apple website or authorized retailers in India for up-to-date pricing information. Okay, but anyways, it recognized the model, and definitely the answer was pretty correct. It depends upon the specifications because the same model comes in different specification at different pricing. Perfect. So for another test, we came down to our studio and found this super attractive bike. So let's try to click a picture of it and ask if ChatGPT can tell us the model of the bike. So I'll click the picture of it. And later I'll ask which bike is this. After this I'll press enter, and let's see if we get the correct answer or not. By the way, this is the Royal Enfield Classic 350 model. So let's see if GPT-4o can answer it. Okay, so we got the answer. The bike looks like classic Royal Enfield. Wow! The design is the characteristic of vintage model known for the distinctive fuel tank shape and robust styling. Wow, this recognized completely fine. Perfect. Okay, so for our last test, we'll go inside the dark room to test the built-in flash, whether it's actually useful or not. So it's pretty dark here. But anyways, here I have a white paper on which I have a basic math problem written. And without the flash, as you can see, the camera is not able to see anything. So I'll try to turn on the flash with the built-in touch screen. And as you can see, it's pretty bright. And now we can clearly see that text written on the paper. So I'll try to capture this image. And after capturing, the flash will automatically turn off. And now let's try to ask question as solve, and I'll press enter. So let's see if GPT-4o is able to solve this or not. By the way, the answer for this is 189, which I've already done on my smartphone. Now let's wait for the response here. Okay, so we got the answer to solve the problem. Okay, so it shown a couple of steps, and yes, the last answer is 189. So it perfectly recognized all the text and it was able to solve it as well. Perfect. So that was our complete journey of building our own AI camera, and now you must have realized how difficult it is to make a complete project from scratch which was never built before, and this kind of things we try to do every month. Really a tough job. But anyways, that's what we love and that's why we'll do it in future as well. So do subscribe our channel if you want to see more such content regularly on our channel. And as usual, all the important links of this project, including the code file, is provided down in the description of this video. And as I said, anyone who is able to make the code stable enough to work all the time, even at the starting as well, will definitely be getting this project for absolutely free. Of course, you can reach out to us via email ID, which is mentioned in the video and the description as well. And yeah, that being said, and I'm just ending this video here, and now just wait for my next video. Until then, explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.